What's up, guys? Welcome back to TCG Sports. Today, we got a lot to cover. We're going to be talking a little bit about the NBA draft, some of the messed up picks that I've been hearing about. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Wheeling Nailers. Definitely going to be talking a lot about the minors today. I'm joined with my buddies Gage, my buddy Chris. I'm Troy. So tonight, we got a lot to get over. We'll be taking a couple breaks in between. Probably going to be about a 2-hour video tonight. So within the 1 hour mark, we're going to take a little bit of a break, kind of get our notes back together. But let's get started into the ECHL for right now. I've been hearing that the Wheeling Nailers have been selecting or been signing a couple new interesting players. One coming out of Indy, from what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
We got some that are. I found out Justin Adamo, from what you were telling me, is in Wilkes-Barre now.
Yeah, they brought him up from the Nailers to go to Wilkes-Barre.
So, are we looking at a good Nailer season coming up for this year? Do you think Derek Army and Mitch Jaguar can get these Nailers players up and running this year?
Honestly, by the way they're signing their people, the new people that's coming in, seeing that they're going to be strong people to come in, they might have a decent season, maybe make another run at the playoffs.
I mean, I could see another run at the playoffs with the Nailers. I mean, the heartbreaking loss last year to Toledo in the playoffs second round, that was straight 4-0 right there. That was Toledo complete sweep.
I still say we got cheated.
And
they could have. You know what? I'm not going to disagree with that. There could have been some interesting calls that could have actually went.
Hockey, man. It's going to be a great thing, and I think we have a shot to play.
Who are we looking at coming to Wheeling this year?
Well, you have Anthony Petruzzelli. He's coming from one of Indy's biggest, and that's the Indy Fuel as a forward.
I mean, he doesn't. He doesn't look like it'll be a bad choice. I mean, we got some that look like they're coming straight out of college.
We got two, I think, coming straight from college. And then we got, well, when I looked at my research, it says from Orlando, then it said Allen Americans.
Okay, so he might have played for Allen. But we got, Aiden Suter came from Florida, the Everblades.
They were the ECL?
Yeah. Florida won the ECHL again this year, so they were one of the first teams, one of the only teams to make a three-peat this year. And they beat Kansas City's ass, all the way around that fucking ice.
And we get to play them next year.
I don't know. I'm because we're now being in the Northern Division, because the Bloomington Bison now just signed a ECHL affiliate to the New York Rangers. Now, so the division we're in this year, you have some of the top tier teams in the ECHL in Florida. You got the Jacksonville Icemen. You've got Orlando, Savannah, Greenville,
Idaho.
Idaho. I don't know if the Idaho Steelheads are in that. They might be in that division, but this is huge, because you got players coming from Savannah, Greenville, and especially Orlando. Because I want that one goalie from Orlando, Heavenstein, or whatever his name is, 6'6".
Oh, what a monster!
Could you imagine have a goalie that fucking big sitting in net? All you got to do is go like this, and he covers the whole fucking net. The guy is huge. And when I saw the Orlando play Wheeling last year, I watched them. What was it? We went to 2 of the games last year in Wheeling.
I went to
with Orlando, didn't we?
I'm pretty sure you were at the February 3rd one, because that was obviously
what
it was.
It's interesting because Orlando's a good team. They're a hard team to play.
They are.
Especially with Florida. Look at Florida right now.
Oh, God. Florida is going to be tough. But I think the Nailers, if they have a good game plan and they come out playing like they do, I think they stand a chance.
Okay, so real quick, the Nailers only are sitting at one goalie right now in the ECHL, and that's Jackson Castor. From the season-ending lineup, Castor was only one on that list.
Yeah.
Where's Taylor Gauthier? Where's the other goalie, Garrett Sparks? Yeah.
I'm actually I haven't gotten into them yet. The furthest I got was Justin Adamo.
Yeah, Damo's in Wilkes-Barre now. So are we looking at any, could we be seeing any of these players from Wheeling going to possibly Pittsburgh?
I think if anything, I think Adamo would probably have the chance at some time this season if he proves himself in Wilkes-Barre. I believe they'll call him up. They need some young, fresh talent on that team up in Pittsburgh. They're getting a little old on the lineups, you know. They kind of need on that team to be contenders, you know.
Yeah, by the way, congratulations to Alex Nedeljkovic on that new contract for the Penguins as well.
Absolutely. Great
Heck
goalie.
Fuck
Great.
yeah. I think he was one of the biggest ones that gave the Penguins the best chance to go to the playoffs this
What
year.
was he, like 7-0?
I think he lost one game within that 8-game stretch, and that one game that he lost was when I think they lost to Washington, and Washington made the playoffs and Pittsburgh got eliminated.
Yeah,
so it's kind of funny right now because, you know, you got Adamo, you got Peter Laviolette too, and then you got one of the biggest fighters in Wheeling and Matthew Corsia, and Q's good. I ain't gonna lie, you want to drop the gloves, I wouldn't want to drop the gloves with Matthew or Shaw Boomhauer.
Speaking of him, he's one of the next ones I'm actually doing to do research on. Sean Buhauer, see where he went since he's not in that final roster.
Like, let's talk for a second, because I was at, me and my wife, we were not at the game, but we watched it live on Flow Sports Hockey. But we watched the Shaw Boomhauer Daniel Ainsbury fight live in Wheeling, West Virginia. Diamond Hands, Daniel Ainsbury. Now, a lot of people aren't calling Diamond Hands anymore. A lot of people are calling them Kitten Hands now and softballs.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie to you. Look, I mean, okay, so the first game Daniel Ainsbury showed up in Kalamazoo this year. That was his very first game in the ECHL, was in Kalamazoo. Now, let's not forget, he was suspended from the original league that he was in. He comes into Kalamazoo and lays a nasty shot on a Kalamazoo player, and then automatically it's after that, he's in a fight. And he drops this guy in a heartbeat. So Diamond Hands said that when you're messing with Fort Wayne, you're gonna get to the jungle. Well, Diamond Hands decided he wanted to show his face in Wheeling. Shaw Boomhauer come on, and Boomhauer drops his ass right there on the ice.
Exactly.
So, I mean, and you got Peter Laviolette, you got Boomhauer, I heard Felix Paré is probably going to be going to Maine this coming year to be hooking back up with Brooklyn Kalmakoff now. And Kalmakoff was a good player in Wheeling, too. He was a damn good one as well. So, you know, I think the Nailers have a real good season coming up this year. I'd like to see who the backup goalie, because I'll definitely keep Jackson Castor as my starter.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he had one or two shutouts last year in the playoffs.
One against Indy Fuel.
And he had a nasty shutout against the Fuel. And, you know, so my starting goalie for the Nailers this year would definitely be Jackson Castor. But if you got one of the best head coaches in the HL with Derek Army, and then the best assistant in Mitch Jaguar, you know, you have one heck of a team right there. I would love to see Peter Laviolette, Adamo, and probably Big Q make the lineup to the Penguins this year. I would love to watch him make that climb. I think that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine seeing Corsia in a Penguins uniform and drop the gloves the very first time he hits that fucking ice?
The problem with Q, did he keep staying out of fights? Like, what was it this year? He almost got where he had to be suspended for the rest of the season for how many fights he was in.
He was close. Yeah, like he was definitely close.
So my thing here is a backup goalie for Vidalkovic for the Penguins.
Well, see, that's huge because
Jari's gone.
Yeah, Jari's gone. Actually, from what I'm seeing, Jari's still there, but I don't think the Penguins are going to hold on to him very much longer. Jari isn't the Tristan Jari that we
Oh, absolutely.
Jari, like I told you this one day, Jari can be one of the best goalies in the league, and he can be one of the hardest goalies to beat if he can stay focused. That's the, Jacob Markstrom, now out of Calgary and in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You and I talked about that the other night.
Yeah, we did.
And, Markstrom now with the Devils now, that brings the Devils goalie rating big time. That shoots it huge.
But what does this do to Calgary knowing they lost their starting goalie?
to, I don't know, because I don't think Calgary would be too worried about that, honestly. If you're Calgary, I wouldn't be too worried because I mean, you could go to Pittsburgh, or you could take Jari.
Thank you
Bring him-
for actually saying that. Since we're on the topic of goalies,
Give me 1 second. Now, if you wanted to take a backup or a starting goalie in Calgary, I'd go after Stellaris from Florida.
I'd go maybe after Solars or maybe go after Edor's backup, Jonathan Twitch. You could put in there.
Man.
Not saying he would make the best starter.
so
It's true.
this is a big deal from Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
The Nashville Predators is agreeing to terms on an 8-year extension with Jose Saros, worth up to $62 million
Theros, that's the starting goalie for Pittsburgh.
for the
Or
Predators.
for Predators,
yes.
sorry.
Yes.
You have also one of the best goalies on the Islanders. Now, if you're Calgary right now, you look at one of these backups. Right now, you got Stellaris out of Florida.
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations to the 2024 Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers. First one in team history. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What a fucking game that was, dude. That was a hell of a game.
Oh, God, yes.
Dude, it was. So, because you got Jonathan Quick out of New York right now with the Rangers. You got Sorokin out of the Islanders. And you also got, Corpusalo. You got Cam Talbot still.
Yeah, Tim Talbot, I think.
Promptly out of L.A. right now as well.
Well, that's if they don't make him the starter when he comes back.
So, for Calgary, if you're Calgary right now, you have a lot of choices.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be worried about it because I would not be worried about a lot of this at all. But it's huge to think about because if you look at a lot that's going on in the NHL, especially, with the Penguins, the Rangers losing in the playoffs, which is very fucking rare.
Oh, yeah.
Not something you see very often. And then you look at, Edmonton and Florida series.
Oh, God, that series was fantastic.
That was...
You could not have written off that series any better.
Now, I got a problem. Go ahead. I'm not going to cut you off here, but I got a big, huge problem. But go ahead.
So I'm going to ask this question to you, Charles. And it's because I asked him this when we were watching the game live. Do you think the NHL scripted like everyone says, like the NFL and that is?
See, I don't think so because I highly doubt that anybody would have seen this series come. I highly doubt that anybody would have came up with that kind of an.
I just had to ask you because I asked him it when we were watching this game live.
And my answer to it was the same. It's going to be the same thing. I can't see it. I can't see it being
I can't see
scripted.
it.
But I look at this now. Look, I'm not going to take anything away from Edmonton at all. Edmonton played every bit of their hearts out in that 7-game series. But game 7, Sergei Bobrovsky looked like the Bobrovsky he was supposed to be. I mean, there was shots that Edmonton had that Bobrovsky should never have even made saves on.
Especially when Bobrovsky lost his stick and was laying on the ice and they had 2 shots on there.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. It was also getting nippy between players. You could tell
Yeah.
Edmonton was getting mad at Florida.
I'm sad I didn't get to be here and watch the game with you guys, but I was watching it at the bowling alley.
We had a little bit of connection issues while we were watching.
Oh, yeah, we had
So it was off, and it was on, then it was off, and then it was on. So we were back and forth throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
But what was good about it is one thing that I was going to say this, one thing that pisses me off is I hear about these NHL awards. Nathan McKinnon won the Hart Award this year, what you were telling me. Connor Hellebuck won the award this year. What was his award that he had won? And it was between him, Bobrovsky, and another fucking goalie this year.
Yeah, it was. It was the... Actually, I have to click.
Okay. Because Nathan McKinnon won that award. He won 2 awards last night.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. I like
the
Nathan
Vezina trophy.
The Vezina trophy.
Yeah.
Now, that's a problem because, look, Connor Hellebuck, straight goalie.
Oh, yeah.
Amongst good goalies, Connor Hellebuck is right there. Straight to hands down. But Sergei Bobrovsky won the Stanley Cup this year. could he have won that award?
See, I think this is where it all season.
Really?
I think that's where this comes into play at.
You
Because
know-
these awards are determined before the playoffs.
Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong, but
If
I
it's before
believe
the playoffs, I would say hell, but probably did.
Probably.
But if it's after the playoffs and all the Stanley Cup final happened, I would say Bobrovsky should.
Well, because see, what was it? First round, Avalanche and Winnipeg, right? For the playoffs this
Yep.
year? Was it Avalanche and Jets?
Yep.
And the Avalanche peg all up and down that fucking ice.
Yeah, I think besides like one game when Winnipeg actually won.
You know, so
and it's the second time he's won that award. He did win it back in 2020 as well.
yeah, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything from Connor Hellebuyck.
Oh no, but
He's a damn good goalie. But so now let me ask you this. So since Sergei Bobrovsky won this year, is he amongst the top goalies in the league now?
I mean, I think he's probably up in the conversation. I mean, you got Igor Shesterkin, you got Jay Gottinger from Dallas. He had a lights out season. I mean, I know you're gonna hate me for bringing this up, but talk about Stuart Skinner. I mean,
If you put Skinner up there, you would have to put Bobrovsky up there.
I mean, Bobrovsky's there too. I'm just saying, like, look at what these goalies have done this year. That's the top four right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean the top two goalies that I would put would be Skinner and Bobrovsky because of the finals, the way
That's
the
what I
finals
would
was
do.
played. And you know, if you're Stuart Skinner right now, you can't be upset about anything that happened this entire playoffs because you had an entirely great playoff season this year for the Oilers.
Oh, absolutely.
And watching the Oilers play, you know, and one conversation me and him had, and I saw it off a source, but one conversation me and him had during getting ready for the game, if Connor McDavid would have won that game that night, would you put him amongst the talks with the great one? Would you have immortalized Connor McDavid?
See, I wouldn't put him up there with the great one. I mean, there was only one great.
Yeah.
There's
Only one.
that you cannot compare anybody to. Like, come on, man. Like, don't get me wrong. McDavid is a fantastic player, but there was only one, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Well, I told him when we had this conversation, McDavid's only 27 years old. Give him a couple more years, maybe then he can be. I don't see him being 27 and being the talk with the great.
Okay. All right. Well, let's. It's to be determined. We still got a lot to go through here. Chris, I heard you got some draft news going for me here, bud.
Oh, yeah, I do. So, well, before I get into the draft news, let's talk about a trade that's going down right now.
Okay.
The Atlanta Hawks are trading DeJounte Murray to the New Orleans Pelicans for Larry Nance and 2 first-round picks and possibly more. I don't have all the information on that trade yet, but as of right now, that's what I got.
Larry Nance, point guard.
Larry Nance is a forward.
Forward. Okay. Not bad. I mean,
He played for the Lakers. He was really good. We traded him to the Pelicans. He's been pretty decent. I mean, he's a great player.
right. It's to be determined to see how this new NBA season is going to go. All right, so I heard that there's some big news coming out of LA right now on the draft. I gotta hear it.
Actually, let's get into the draft pick that I actually liked that they actually.
Okay.
Dalton Connect, out of Tennessee. I think that he's going to be a great, viable fit for the Lakers. Trying to pull up his stats right. And it's a summary of last year. He played 36 games. He averaged 21.7 points a game, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. So he's a shooter. He's good off screens, or he can catch and shoot, which is something that we need in LA right now. We need shooters to help our lineup because right now we are atrocious from the three.
Yeah, but see, you guys got AR, Austin Reeves.
We got
too.
Austin Reeves, we got D. Russ, we got
And
several
those
people.
are two of the best shooters that I know of right now out of LA. I'm not even going to mention his fucking name.
Nope,
I
nope, we're
swear
not
to
getting
God.
into this because of the next guy that they drafted that was a fake, in my opinion, but Bronny freaking James. With
Well-
the second round, number 55 overall pick, is now with
So you were telling me this the other night when the draft was going on that his agents were calling teams telling them not to draft him.
That's what I seen from a source online that I was reading. Is that his agent was calling teams second round and telling them not to draft him.
How legal can that really be? Like that can't be legal here. Like you're like if a team like Indiana or like I pray to God Indiana didn't draft him at all. Like if a team like say the Clippers or Memphis after drafting Zach Edey, if they wanted to add another player like Bronny to that lineup and say Memphis decides, hey, we want Bronny to do, sue them because they drafted him even though you told them not to?
See, I don't know, but my thing is Bronny. Like, don't get me wrong, Bronny's a great kid, but I don't think he's NBA ready right now. I mean, he had medical issues at the start of last year, and not to mention his stats from last year. Like
I heard his stats were
4.8 points per game, maybe a half assist a game, maybe friggin' 1.2 rebounds a game. So but he did average 5 blocks a game.
Well, let's see. Hold on a second.
But
If this is going to be the first father-son duo in the NBA right now, ain't it?
yes, they are comparing.
So, how is this going to compare to Boston's championship win this year? I mean, I got a Boston Celtics fan sitting in my house right now.
Yeah, don't remind me.
I mean, I've got a Lakers fan sitting here. I'm an Indiana Pacers fan. I don't know what
Cavs.
you go Cavs. Well, obviously.
Well, he ain't
Obviously.
this conversation.
So, Boston just won 18 championships this year. Like, we're talking a father-son duo in the NBA. Like, I don't like it personally. I
See,
really don't.
Here's what I think should have happened. See, I don't think that we should have taken Bronny this year. Don't get me wrong, good kid, but I think he should have stayed in college, played 1 or 2 more seasons, built himself up, get his stats up. Then maybe we could have rediscussed that. Now, if you want, see, here's what I think is going on. Bronny's in the league now. 2026. LeBron's other son, Bryce, is eligible for the draft, who is arguably better than Bronny. He's way better than Bronny, in my opinion. So, could we possibly see LeBron and his 2 sons on the Lakers in 2026?
Like, what is LeBron trying to do? Get his entire family to play in the NBA?
Pretty much.
Like, look, I'm sorry. This almost sounds like almost.
Honestly, it's
You know, look, I'm going to say this straight up. I don't like LeBron. I've hated him ever since he came into the NBA. I don't like him one step. He thinks he's just better than everybody. It's honest to God. And he had to switch teams just to win a championship.
And that is why he should not be in the discussion of the greatest player of all time. You cannot put somebody who has to surround himself with all-stars to, be the GOAT. I mean, look at Michael Jordan.
Jordan left the NBA to go play baseball, and he come back from baseball and still won an NBA championship. I don't care who you are. If you have to leave one team to go to another team, win a championship there, and then go back to the team that you originally came from just to win one here, oh, I can't win because I don't have players built around. Bullshit. If you want to consider yourself as one of the greatest players in the NBA, you should be able to win a championship with any team that you play with.
Absolutely. And that brings me up to somebody else that is definitely in the GOAT conversation. Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah.
Like, this man played for the Lakers organization for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
This man never left. Like, he played his heart out, and his stats don't lie. Like, this man won 5 championships with them.
Yeah.
Like, he
did it with an amazing Lakers team. I mean, you got Derek Fisher, Shaquille O'Neal, Rick Fox. You got Pau Gasol,
Jordan Farmar.
I mean, and you got one of the biggest diesel trains in as center for the Lakers at that time was Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, tell me anybody in the NBA right now that would have been able to prime Shaq.
Dude, no.
Fuck
Absolutely
no.
no.
The only one that I know that could have done it was Yao Ming, and that's it.
Yes, but
I mean, he locked up Shaq a couple good times, and you know, there's an former Indiana center that actually didn't do too bad. It was Rick Smits, you know, and he was an Indiana center for the longest time. So, you know, if you look at this right now, it's kind of one of those things that Kobe won in LA. Kobe made his name in LA. Like this year, Boston won the NBA championship. Jason Tatum is now amongst talks of greats. Right now, he won that NBA championship over Luka Doncic. And Doncic is a magical player to watch.
oh, he is.
Why in the fuck are we talking LeBron as one of the great ones? If you got to switch teams to win a title, you're not a great one in my book. I'm sorry, you're not.
I mean, his stats don't lie, but like, I just can't see him being in the conversation. I personally don't think so.
I don't either.
But
I don't.
Anyway,
GOATs right now to me are like Kobe, Jordan, Shaq. I mean, oh hell, let's not forget Dr. J, fucking Charles Barkley in that list. You know,
I agree.
oh, yeah, there's great.
Larry Legendary.
Larry Bird.
Both of you are
Former Indiana man right there is Larry
You're
Bird
welcome.
right there.
both of you are probably about to be mad at me right now.
Oh Jesus.
I can't put Shaq there either.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Shaq also won it in Miami. He had to go to Miami and do it too.
Orlando.
Yeah, and
But-
Orlando, but that's different though. Shaq was retired on multiple occasions
Yeah,
already.
exactly.
He pulled a Brett Favre. I
He doesn't pull Brett Favre anymore.
Yeah, but you can't. So
Oh,
Oh, no.
yeah, he's one of the
I'm
better
not
centers of
talking
all
about
time.
greatest player of all
Oh
time.
no.
Yeah, I'm
Look,
trying to put Shaq
I'm
up
talking
there.
about like one of the great centers of
I saw this the other day and I thought it was kind of funny. The Dream, Hakeem Olajuwon. A lot of people were thinking Olajuwon was so much better than Shaq as well. You know, don't get me wrong. If we're talking great centers, we're talking like Hakeem, we're talking Shaq, we're talking Bill
Dirk
Walton.
Nowitzki.
Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nowadays, look, I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell this straight up. I'm going to become a Boston fan for a second. Ready for this? Larry Bird could outmatch LeBron James to this day now. I'm going to say it straight up
I'm
and
not
honest.
going to disagree with that.
As a Cavs fan, I even hated Braun. I didn't like him. I never did.
I'm a Lakers
And
fan.
he started
I
on my
don't-
team.
Like, I'm not going to talk bad about him, but this whole thing with his son
I think
shouldn't have happened.
it's
Shouldn't
so
have happened.
stupid.
I can, for one, say that the coaching staff and the managers and the owners of the Lakers not want it to happen.
Look, if you like, okay, look, would you be okay with Bronny had coming into the league next year if he would have played one whole season, another season with USC?
Next season, if he would have put up better numbers because he would have had a full season, then maybe. Playing one, like not even a full season and coming to the NBA, I just don't.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. My dog is kind of having mental breakdown issues right now. So, all right. So let's talk about two of the players that did get drafted this year. Two of them, one Dalton Klingon going to Portland this year. Donovan Klingon, yeah. Donovan Klingon going to Portland this year.
And Zach Edey going to the Grizzlies. Two big players.
Did you? Okay, so look, I gotta say this. This is fucking hilarious. So I saw this little meme on Facebook earlier today. Had John Morant in it as well, with
Oh,
Zach Edey.
Here we go.
And it had pulled a Rush Hour 3 meme where fucking Chris Tucker's looking up at that big Chinese man. So, look, let's talk for a second, because Steven Adams is in Houston now.
Yes.
And so I'm clearly saying this hands down, Zach Edey starts for Memphis.
Oh, absolutely. 7'4", 300 pounds. This man's got to start.
Like, this is huge. This is big body centers we're talking now. You know, because you got Victor Wembanyama, you know.
7'2".
And then we got Zach Edey, who I can say hands down would lock Victor down every step of the way.
I think so too.
Donovan Clingan as well in Portland. He's what, 7 foot?
7'3",
7'3",
280 pounds.
280 pounds, and he's a big body center now too.
I mean,
So is this the era for the big body centers now?
I mean, it could be, but I mean, look at the people that has tried that in the past, like Taco Fall.
Well, also for Cleveland fans, you originally had Anderson Varejao in Cleveland. He was a big body center too. DeAndre Jordan would be a part of that list as well.
DeAndre 8?
Yeah, DeAndre 8. He's in Portland, ain't he? DeAndre, because I think I told you yesterday he was in Portland. So Donovan Clingan has somebody to model up to in, you know, DeAndre Ayton right there,
Because he's 7'2".
Exactly. He came from Phoenix. So, you know, I mean, you have two of the best big body centers coming from the draft that I know of this year, and two good teams, including with Memphis and Portland right now.
So this game bigger center. Not just Iowa ball where it's more.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
team focus, yeah.
I can see it. You know, definitely. You know, I would like to see Taco Fall come back to the NBA, go back to Boston where he originally came from. You know, and I just found out the other day, Brad Stevens, former Butler head coach, is the general man or the GM or owner of Boston now. Brad Stevens, GM in Boston now.
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh,
I know the head coach of Boston, the Joe Mazzulla. He came from WB.
But so I think this is the era for the big body centers now. I really do. I think this is the era for the centers.
I think the Timberwolves picked up a good, decent center too. I mean, he's only 6'11", but they picked up undrafted free agent Jesse Edwards from West Virginia University. He signed a 2-way deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Had 15 points and 8 rebounds per game last season in only 23 appearances.
You know, if you look at it right now, I don't think Minnesota, it's kind of like LA right now. The Minnesota show belongs to Anthony Edwards right now. And Carl Anthony Townsend, too.
Well, it didn't help that Minnesota got one of their best got rid of one of their best shooters, sent him to Cleveland, and that's Love.
Kevin Love?
Yeah. When he was there, you can't say he wasn't good. He was.
I'm not going to say he wasn't good. Kevin Love's is a straight good shooter.
Absolutely.
I don't even know where he is now.
I don't think he's even playing. I think he's in Miami, ain't he? I think he went to the Miami Heat, honestly.
Give me a moment.
See, out of the two, me being a Cavs fan, I only appreciate two of the players. That was Kevin Love, and actually a former Boston Celtics, and now is a Maverick, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. Kyrie.
Actually, Kyrie plays for the Mavericks.
Yes, he does play for them. You just said that.
You just said it.
We just
I thought you said something else. My bad.
Former Boston, and now a Maverick.
We just said it.
Actually, Kevin Love plays for the Miami Heat.
Oh my goodness. Athena, go lay down. Go.
So he was
Hard.
for the Miami Heat.
So he's in Miami.
He is in Miami.
Okay, so we're looking at this in, multiple different ways. And I'm watching my dog's head coming over my YouTube screen right now.
Wait, did you actually see her?
Yeah, I saw her pop up over the computer. If you look at this, Edey now in Memphis, Steven Adams, I don't understand why he would leave an absolute Memphis team that is absolute dogs in that team. I mean, you got one of the best point guards in Ja Morant right there. If he stays out of trouble, he'd be the perfect guard.
I thought he was suspended indefinitely.
I don't know. I think last year he came back after his little ordeal that he got up on. But, you know, Zach Edey will start for Memphis this year. Donovan Clingan will be backup, I'd say, to DeAndre Ayton, without a doubt.
With him being able to learn stuff from.
And
he's
honestly,
really-
I have to agree. I think now with the big body centers, this is more of a team sport now instead of a singular player being named into it. I think you're going to start seeing centers getting more work. I think these centers are going to start dominating the paint a whole lot more now.
So, Ja Morant, or actually Zach Edey was talking about Ja Morant, and I quote, these are Zach Edey's words, I think he's the best guard in the league. I could argue that point because you have Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic,
Kyrie Irving.
I'm biased here, but I think Austin Reeves is really good.
Reeves is there. I mean, I could say, hell, if I wanted to go bias, I could say Indiana Pacers point guard Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, Tyrese Halliburton's great.
You know, and I tell you something funny. You know, one of the worst trades I could have ever seen come in the NBA right now, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy it because I like Tyrese Halliburton, was when the Indiana Pacers traded DeMontis Sabonis to the Kings, and we took Tyrese Halliburton. I wanted DeMontis Sabonis. I like Sabonis.
Sabonis is a good player.
I love Sabonis. He was fucking amazing. You know, but congratulations to the Boston Celtics and, you know, winning the NBA championship this year. I don't think they'll do it again next year. I don't see a repeat coming out of this, but
Absolutely not. Even the Celtics fan is saying no.
There's shots.
Don't worry, the Lakers ain't gonna do it.
Listen, there's a lot of luck that had that.
yeah, I mean, you guys literally took down a Mavericks team of some of the two great shooters in Dallas with Doncic and Kyrie.
There might have been a little money going towards past, but you can look past that.
Okay.
So switching gears out.
Well, before we switch to any type of deer, I want to go back to the family topic of how there's a father and son duo.
Yeah.
You brought up the Ball family. I told you about this when we were on the phone one day.
Yeah.
Melo Ball is now arrested
Really?
for 32 kilograms of cocaine caught in his trunk.
Jesus.
So I don't think we're going to be seeing the Melo Ball back in the for
That's okay. There's always LiAngelo.
Or what is it? What's the other brother?
Lamar,
Lamar Ball.
not Lamar. Fucking
the Melo.
yeah, LaMelo. My bad. Yeah, LeVar Ball is the father.
Stop it.
Did absolutely.
Go lay down. Go.
Now
Back, Demon Spawn.
Mind you, viewers, the dog is not a lapdog.
She is not a lap dog.
so
She's just a cleaning dog.
Go ahead, bud.
So, if we're gonna talk about family in the NBA, what about the Antetokounmpo brothers?
Oh, Giannis and what's his other?
Thanasis?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're both play for what? Milwaukee.
They both play for Milwaukee.
Milwaukee actually sucked this year. Like,
Oh yeah.
the Indiana Pacers, my hometown team, took down Milwaukee straight heads down. And if we could take down a Bucks team like that, especially with, you know, Indiana having like Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, who, honest to God, I love Miles Turner, hands fucking down. That's a big body center right there with Miles Turner. You know, and in Indiana just re-signed Pascal Siakam this year.
Yeah,
So
it's
he's
a
in
huge
Indiana.
contract.
Yeah, a huge contract with that. But look, you say that, but also, you know, NBA reporters right now are calling the Indiana Pacers something to fear in the Eastern Division next year, and possibility of NBA Finals trip next year for the Indiana Pacers. Now, that's just me talking because I'm an Indiana fan. I got a Boston fan, Cleveland, and I got a Lakers fan. Gensel to the Rangers. Marner and Draisaitl on the move.
Potential
Ooh.
blockbuster trades.
All right, so potential trades from the NHL right now. Jake Gensel going to the Rangers possibly. That's huge.
If they get him, if the Rangers get him, I see the Rangers going to the Stanley Cup. next
Oh
year.
my God. Ooh.
Because the Rangers are missing
Gensel.
just one piece, and he could be that piece.
Now, look, if you guys think about it, now we have a lot of undrafted free agents right now in the NHL. You just not undrafted free agents. You have just massive amounts of free agents. Gensel, Reinhardt, Montour, Oliver Ekman Larson's in that list. So, I mean, you have massive free agents on the Stamkos, Draisaitl's on that list.
See, as a Teams fan, I would love to see them pick up Draisaitl and
I
Ryan.
think Draisaitl will end up probably making a deal with you.
Think he'll make the deal?
I think so.
Where's Stamkos gonna go? Because Steven Stamkos is still on his still in his prime. I think Stamkos can still win,
Honestly, I think
but I don't think his winning is gonna be in Tampa Bay any longer.
No.
I think where
Bring him to Dallas.
I don't think he's going to Dallas. You two are going to love where I'm about to say.
Pittsburgh?
I think he'll go to Pittsburgh.
Help Sidney Crosby and
Yeah.
Evgeny Malkin.
Somebody needs to help the old guys down there
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh.
Because we talked about a huge trade between Washington and your Kings.
Yeah.
Pierre-Luc Dubois from the Kings going to Washington, and DeMar Kemper or Donovan Kemper from the goalie from Washington going to the Kings. That's a huge one at that time. So if that chanceled to the Rangers, I can see the Rangers getting rid of Mike Trouba or Trouba. I think that's
Trouba?
yeah, Trouba getting out of that list, getting out of New York, and Gensel going to the Rangers. That would be an amazing trade.
Say, I see that your guys is missing piece.
With the Penguins right now, I mean, we got a hell of a lineup. We just got to figure out how to use it.
Oh, yeah.
And you got Evgeny Malkin, you got Sidney Crosby, you got Runkel,
Bang, bang, Letang.
Just
you got
give the
Chris
puck-
Bang Bang
Just
Letang.
give the puck to Bang Bang Letang, he'll hit it every time.
So let's switch up. Keep going here. Any news? We talked about Donovan Klingon being in Portland. What's up?
Breaking news. The Oilers and general manager Ken Holland are agreeing to part ways.
Really
Yes.
interesting. This is Edmonton, right?
Yes.
Edmonton Oilers.
Interesting. Oh, so let's continue on here for a second. Let's switch gears, and we're going to go to the NFL and college for a minute. So we had talked about what was a couple videos back about the division realignment.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they
Yes.
didn't rip the
So-
game.
Because of the implosion of the Pac-12.
Yes. So I did a little bit of researching today, and I'm not sure how I really feel about this new division switch. So for the ACC, you've got SMU, Stanford, and Cal being the only three teams that moved to the ACC right now. Cal's a good team, and they're not a bad team. You got Pitt in the ACC as well. You got Virginia Tech, which those two really haven't been relevant lately. But you got, North Carolina coming out of nowhere, Miami, Louisville, Florida State, and their undefeated season
And
last
Georgia
year.
Tech is nowhere near.
And
And
don't,
Georgia Tech's nowhere near any part of this
and don't
conversation.
forget that
someone
Notre
might hate me
Dame,
for saying it.
Notre Dame has an arrangement with the ACC.
Here, but the problem is Notre Dame is still an independent
Yeah,
school.
they are still under an independent school, but they also have an agreement with the ACC.
For 5 games.
So now we're going to go Big 12. You know the Big 12 a lot because you're a
yes.
West Virginia fan.
Absolutely.
So these are the new teams in West Virginia in the Big 12 right now. Are let's see.
BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, Arizona,
Now,
Arizona
that
State,
was-
Colorado.
Conference had BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF for the 2023 season, and lost Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC in 2024. New teams in the Big 12 are Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah.
Actually, all of these teams just got added at the end of the season,
Okay.
including BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF.
Okay, so how do we feel about Coach Prime being in the Big 12
He ain't
now?
gonna win.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
West Virginia's division.
Okay.
West Virginia's division.
See, that's a biased fucking
See,
answer. That's a
here's-
West Virginia fan.
No,
right there.
ain't even
You see
biased.
this?
If you have seen our roster in this
Hold on.
offseason,
Hold on.
no, let me
Hold
finish.
up,
Let me
ladies.
finish. Let me finish.
Look, you can beat each other off after this thing's over with, okay? I'm better at beaching off than either one of y'all motherfuckers.
Listen,
We're not bringing that back.
with all of the people that we have signed this year, we have 5-star players coming over. We got people transferring from different teams that are like really good teams that are these people are transferring over from.
Okay.
And I believe that Neil Brown and the West Virginia Mountaineers are gonna win that conference.
See,
I'm not.
That's not,
guys.
I'm just saying, compared to the other teams on this list, we're the best liable option here.
all right. I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with it. But you're adding in a Utah team that has been strong for the past 2-3 years.
Utah's good. Colorado had I don't know if it was a magical season last year.
It was a
but
magical season.
I don't
It
know.
ain't gonna happen.
I don't know if Coach Prime could pull that off again. but
I see Utah taking that division.
I don't know about that, but I'm also seeing kind of like a TCU kind of come back with a little bit of Houston mixed in with that as well.
Why did I
But-
look at TCU?
Look, we got to put some hot poo on that thing. Because I swear to God,
There it is.
if Virginia wins it this year, this man's going to go fucking nuts, okay?
And I'm gonna say, I told you so.
All right, so let's go Big Ten right here for a second. This is your division, bud. Big Ten, you got Oregon, you got UCLA, USC, and Washington on this list in the Big Ten right now. Are you seeing Ohio State having a little bit of trouble with
Oh,
this?
absolutely.
Oh, I see us having trouble with it. I'm not doing. I may be biased
We
towards
all know
Ohio
the
State.
one team they're gonna have problems with.
I love Ohio State to death. But with us adding these teams, Oregon, I'm not worried about. Oregon has rarely beat us.
They haven't
ever.
been relevant since
2014.
Mariota.
Mariota,
Marcus
Marcus
Mariota.
in the 2014.
Washington, I can't say we're going to completely be worried about because they did just lose their head coach to actually your team.
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer.
So that team, I have a feeling, is going to probably fall apart a little.
UCLA and USC. What were they? They were in the Pac, weren't they?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that used to be a very strong division with USC Trojans and the UCLA Bruins, Washington Huskies, and the Oregon Ducks. I think Ohio State. If you're Ohio State right now, you have a little bit of worry about here because you got bigger teams with cornbread
Cornbread fed
Cornbread?
motherfuckers.
cornbread fed motherfuckers here coming from these teams. And so if I'm Ohio State, you're coming into a Big Ten conference, which a lot of people aren't even considering to be a strong conference anymore. Because, you got Purdue, you got Penn State.
You
and
got
Penn
Michigan.
State, Michigan just won the title last year.
See, I agree with that. Like, we're not a big, strong conference anymore. You have 3 or 4 teams that run that. That's Ohio State, team up north, Screw you. Nope. Penn State and the other team up north.
The other team up
Nebraska?
Yes. Those are the
Nebraska's out what?
No. The
Oh,
other
Michigan
team.
State?
Michigan State. Yeah.
Look, my Hoosiers of Indiana haven't been relevant for years, but
I don't think they're ever doing anything.
yeah, I don't think so either. Look,
Don't
I
think so.
can't say this, but do you think Ohio State's in trouble this year with this division?
Honestly, I think they have more to worry about in this division with the addition of these teams. But they all somehow, some way, shape, or form, Ohio State pads their schedule to freaking win no matter what. So
Do you like my hot poo?
yeah, well,
Well, see, with you saying that, I can make him angry and say Alabama does the same thing.
What?
Half their schedule where they can get to the playoffs.
Well, I've
you
never
guys are
seen it.
playing candy teams. Like,
So is Bama.
See,
I
this
proved
year's
it.
Bama doesn't do that as much.
Bama's schedule this year. We got Georgia, we got Florida on this list.
Georgia, you're
But see now, so let's switch to SEC here because Oklahoma and Texas joined the SEC conference this year.
Now, does Bama have something to worry about? And
If you're Alabama,
Georgia.
you're no longer the top dog in this anymore because Georgia has won the national title.
Yep.
They beat Alabama in the playoffs to get that. They beat Bama in the national
it
title
was
game.
SEC championship.
You know,
pretty much.
we lost Nick Saban this year, so Kalen DeBoer is now the new head coach in Alabama. The other day when I was watching the Crimson and White game with the new head coach, he looked phenomenal. He looked really good. But I am a Crimson Tide fan, roll Tide all the way. But I don't think if you're Alabama, you're not the top dog anymore in the SEC.
I mean, not to mention you have two powerhouses coming in Oklahoma and Texas, who have been dominating the last several years.
We talked about this before about the Blue Bloods. You know, the new head coach in Oklahoma. Fuck, what was his name? The one that just got that big
Brent something. I can't
Brent Venables.
Yeah.
Incredibles, yeah.
You know, so this is huge. You're Alabama, roll Tide every step of the way. But you're not the big dog anymore. Georgia is still part of that big dog list, but Alabama's there. Don't count the Tide out yet.
Can't count the time yet, but I mean,
Texas and Oklahoma, they're yanking those chains.
yeah.
See, but this division, like you said, Bama's still one, not the top dog, but still one of the top ones.
Yeah.
I would honestly put Bama, I hate to say it, I would put it under Texas.
I'll put
Because Texas, walked into your guys' stadium
Walked right into a packed house in Tuscaloosa.
and walked out like not even a scratch on.
I'll put Bama in 4 in their division.
Yeah.
Number 4 behind
I would go
Georgia. Let's see, Georgia, Texas. I'm gonna go crazy here and say Oklahoma, Bama, then LSU.
See, I have a problem with the Oklahoma thing. Oklahoma played in the Pac-12. Not saying didn't take anything away from Pac-12.
Big 12.
Big 12, okay. Not saying taking anything from the Big 12 away. They were a strong conference. But Oklahoma is now going to a very strong conference. That you have national championship winners in.
So was Texas.
Yeah, so it's Texas.
Yeah, but Texas has proven that they can walk in and walk out.
You know, Texas, when they came into Tuscaloosa, they lose that game. But when you have a quarterback or a head coach, Steve Sarkisian, right now in Texas, and you got a quarterback like Quinn Ewers literally dropping his missiles into fucking Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell's hands. I mean, and you walk out of Tuscaloosa with a win. That's not something you say very often.
And that's what I'm saying is Texas was able to walk into Tuscaloosa and walk out a victor. Something that rarely happens.
Let me ask you this: what is one conference that you're ready to see this year? What is that one conference this year you're ready to see?
See, again, I'm biased here. I want to see what the Big 12 is going to do with all these team changes.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost the 2 powerhouses in Oklahoma and Texas. They're gone. But they're adding different teams: BYU, Arizona State, Colorado. You know, teams that we really don't about that often. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Well, the only reason why Colorado is even relevant is for crime. I don't care what anyone says.
Look, Colorado's been a fucking. Colorado's been kind of one of those. Since Coach Prime came into play, it's like, oh yeah, let's root for the Buffaloes.
And especially because they have his son as quarterback there.
Oh yeah, Sanders, Deion Sanders' son's in Colorado.
Which he wants actually transferred out of there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be with his dad.
Rumor has it he wanted to transfer to WVU.
Really? All right. Well, so that's the new conference mix-up. I'll tell you what I want to see this year. I'm ready to see the SEC, new division. I want to see the Big Ten division come into play. So that's huge for me. And I'm pretty sure you're ready to see the Big Ten division this year too.
I'm ready to see actually every division that has the big mix-up. Because of Texas now being in the SEC. You have Utah that's in the Big 12 now. And now you have Washington in the Big 10.
I'm curious to see how West Virginia is going to hold up this year because you've got a lot of big names coming into the Big 12. And, I always enjoy watching the Penn State-West Virginia game every year. I think that's a
First
good
game
game.
of the season every year.
No.
We play Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They come from the Big Ten on that one.
We got Penn State week 1. We got some no-name school that nobody cares about week 2. And then we got Pitt in the week 3.
See, I want I want to see something to ever happen again, because it happened once. Because I hate that West Virginia fans talk so much trash on every other conference. It's happened once, and that's West Virginia coming to Ohio State. It's happened once. What happened was Ohio State went down to your guys' field. Next year, you were supposed to come up to the horseshoe, and you guys opted out of your contract.
I don't remember any of this.
I don't either.
I don't.
Just
really.
wait until 2026 when Bama comes down to
Bama's
Morgantown.
gonna smack you guys.
By 2026, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Everything
but
can be different by then.
look, I'm
Have
not.
Bama smacking.
I'm not calling Alabama to have a playoff season this year. I'm looking at maybe 9-5 for the Tide this year.
Yeah, but you
Look,
guys
even
sneak in.
Even if I could some way somehow pull off tickets to go down to Morgantown, watch the Crimson Tide take on the Mountaineers, I'll be there until we kind of figure it out. Hey, we're Alabama. We're going to play Alabama ball now. So
What
I'm
about
not-
Tennessee.
Tennessee, Shut
He
up.
did what I thought about Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking tired of hearing Georgia this, big black train, but fuck you.
Who's that coming down the train?
So, but if you're West Virginia right now, you have a lot to be looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
And, I want to see Alabama come to West Virginia. I want to see a good game. I really do. I think West Virginia can put up a good game. But ultimately, I think the Crimson Tide are going to ask cornbread fed motherfuckers. And Kalen DeBoer, he's not going to go down quietly.
No.
He's one of those head coaches. When he came out of Washington after his loss in the national championship game, yes, it stung. But when Nick Saban stepped down, he knew that when he got the chance to go to Alabama, he's going to have some big shoes to fill. And that's Nick Saban as number one as the head coach in any sport at all. I don't care who you are. Nick Saban is a hard one to follow after, honest to God.
Right.
So I'm excited to see. I think Ryan Day this year for Ohio State, if he does not win this year, I think he's out. I think he
so,
really
too.
is.
And I think we're going to bring the coach from Clemson.
Dabo Sweeney.
Yep.
Davis Sweeney.
So CAA to NFL for a minute, bud. First things first, I got a Lions fan back here in the background. Bengals?
That's even worse.
That's worse.
Yeah, I told you he was a Bengals.
Oh, God. I was about to talk good about the Lions, too. Now I'm just going to talk shit.
If you want to talk good about the Lions, talk about the MMG.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's a massive Lions fan. Same with Eminem.
All right, so we got a source here. Does CJ Stroud have the brightest future among young QBs this year?
I honestly think so. The way he lit up in his rookie season.
Okay.
Yeah, but you've had people do that in the past and then absolutely fall off the table the next season.
Yeah, but with the weapons they're putting around Stroud,
That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter if you have the weapons if you're not going to be your 100%. He could possibly be a bust this year. We won't know until
Yeah,
the
because
season
last
starts.
season to me was, I have to say, was almost a fluke season for CJ Stroud.
I think so.
Because AR got hurt, and then Ryan Tannehill was still starting in Tennessee. Trevor Lawrence wasn't doing too bad, but after AR got hurt, CJ Stroud was like, well, I have no competition left, so I just have the whole NFL I could just run over through. So what if last year was a fluke season for him? Like, could it have been possibly?
I think so.
it
All right.
could have been, but I don't see it.
All right, so Josh Allen, Buffalo quarterback. Does he have the supporting cast to win the AFC this year?
They're not winning the AFC. No.
Okay, so
They gotta
hands
go
down.
through. They gotta go through the Chiefs,
Okay, hands down, no.
Baltimore. They gotta go through these heavy hitting teams. There's no chance that the Bills
All right, so
are gonna
you're
make
saying
it.
no.
No,
No.
really not.
Hands down, no.
I can't say hands down no because the Chiefs have been having problems with their wide receiver core and everything.
Okay.
Not anymore.
Baltimore, people are going to figure out the Lamar show eventually.
Yeah.
Completely shut it down.
And that's why they have Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's not going to touch that ball.
You don't know that. You
Okay,
do not-
hold on. Look here, ladies. Okay, hold on. we're not going down the Lamar Jackson train here. Okay.
I'm not. I'm just explaining my thing.
Does Josh Allen have the cast to win it this year in the AFC?
I see
Yes,
them.
I know.
I can see them coming second. He's not
Second.
winning it.
Not even second.
Okay, well,
Not even
it's
going to
his
come
opinion.
close.
All right, now here's the big one: Dallas. Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy, are they in the hot seat this year?
The whole Cowboys organization is on the hot seat this year.
Okay, so if the Cowboys don't win it, is Dak and Mike gone?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Good.
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay, let's talk wide receiver on the combine, Xavier Worthy.
Oh boy.
Being teamed up with Marquise Brown and Kansas City with the great quarterback of Patrick Mahomes. Is Kansas City repeating this year?
Oh, absolutely. They got the speed of Tyreek Hill back. Because of Xavier Worthy being so freaking fast, they're gonna have that explosiveness. You said Marquise Brown is there.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown, man, you know how he plays. He makes big plays. He's gonna be explosive. Patrick Mahomes is gonna have two really good receivers to rely on. They don't have to deal with freaking Kadarius Toney dropping passes every 5 seconds.
Okay, so real quick.
And they have the power of Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Yeah, smack him now.
oh my God, he has to do it, doesn't he? You're gonna give me a headache with this Taylor Swift bullshit, dude.
Hey.
All right, so big news out of Indianapolis right now with Anthony Richardson. Medical teams have given him the full send, the full go now.
Thank God.
So Anthony Richardson for Indianapolis is now a full go for camp in July now.
Ooh, him and
So
Jonathan
that's
Taylor.
huge. Now, because Joe Flacco's in Indianapolis, if we all remember, he's learning a lot from Flacco lately. And most Colts players are wanting Richardson to switch up his ability in the NFL and pass more than rush. If you're a mobile QB, this is the era of the mobile QBs right now. You got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got fucking Will Levis. He can run in Tennessee. You got Lamar. Joe Burrow doesn't exist anymore amongst QBs anymore. Can't stay and keep his ass fucking healthy.
He can.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is a great quarterback, but he doesn't scramble much. He's a pocket passer.
And then you got tear my Achilles tendon every single fucking game, Aaron Rodgers.
Is he doing what he did?
AR is this is full send it into camp for Indianapolis. Does he switch up his play style now?
Honestly, I think he'll become a hybrid.
A hybrid QB?
I think he will be. He'll stay in the pocket longer, but he will still rush if he needs to. So he's going to be have a smarter pocket presence. If he sees something coming, he doesn't see anybody he can throw to, he's going to take off.
All right, so I think Anthony Rich. I don't think he's worried about that shoulder anymore. That shoulder's completely clear. Now he did say that he's quotation marks. He did say that there is some soreness still in that shoulder, but you still have until September till the season starts. You could definitely work that shoulder out for those next 4 months and get that shoulder ready to go. And I think, honest to God, I think AR's got it in Indianapolis. I don't think CJ Stroud's going to run that AFC South anymore because with AR being back now, he's going to show the NFL this is what I can really do.
And even if he gets hurt, they got Joe freaking Flacco, who led a injury-riddled Browns team
And the quarterback area.
Yeah.
An injury-riddled Browns team to the playoffs. Man sitting on a couch most of the season.
See, I don't see CJ Stroud running the South. Not with AR being back.
Oh, yeah.
Like I told you when we were out at camp.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Colts in Houston first and second.
Yeah.
I have them back to back.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to come down to that last game of the season, which is always the Colts Texans game.
I honestly see the Colts taking that.
Okay, so let's talk about something funny here. You want to hear this? This is fucking hilarious. The Chiefs are in partner now with Hallmark for a production of a holiday movie.
Let me guess, it has something to do with Taylor Swift
walk
and
down
Travis
the window.
Kelce?
So this is the report from one of the sources, and I put this in quotation marks out. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's romance won't be the only one rooted in Arrowhead Stadium as a Hallmark production, a holiday movie comes into effect.
Oh. What are they gonna talk about Andy Reid and his love for hamburgers?
Is this like the love story, in Arrowhead Stadium now? So also, Jacksonville Jaguars have approved a $1.4 billion renovation right now. That's huge. And, so they're redoing Everbank Stadium. So let's talk about new running backs and new teams. Saquon, Jacobs, and Mixon and running backs right now. How are these running backs going to thrive on their new teams? Because Saquon's in Philly.
I think
Josh Jacobs is with Green Bay.
Green
He
Bay.
was Green Bay.
Where's Mixon at?
Joe Mixon. I have no idea where he went.
Uh,
Bengals fan, you should know this. You should know
He
where he
doesn't pay
went.
attention.
He kind of reminds me of my nephew, Joey. Roots for any team that's winning. Oh yeah, by the way, Chiefs released Isaiah Bugs. Did you hear about that?
I did.
He's at the
I did
Texans.
hear about that.
Oh, Joe Mixon's in Texans?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck him. I ain't worried about him. So I'm not going down that storyline. I don't want to fucking hear about it.
We all are gonna hear about it anyway.
that I've been hearing.
Okay.
The Broncos with who? What? No. Bears with Taylor Williams.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, I know we're revisiting Taylor Williams.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go.
People say that he has the potential to take the Bears 9-8 this year. That he's going to have a breakout year this year.
I don't see it happening, but
I mean, it could be very possible. By the way, Jaden Daniels in Washington's getting a lot of praise from Terry McLaurin right now.
that's good.
I mean-
Washington needs something. I still want to see if they inevitably bring back the Redskins name.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious because I heard rumors that the Native Americans are supposed to be suing the Washington
Oh, it said-
organization
Yeah,
over
because
this.
they want to take it back to the
Yeah,
Redskins.
they filed the lawsuit.
So, also Brown's crashing car into a restaurant he was charged with drunk driving the other day.
He was a freaking third.
That reminds me of the guy that decided to make it next to a drive-through window into the Wendy's up there last year.
I heard about that one.
All right, so we talked about it before, and we're going to talk about it again for a second. Last year's NFL season was a little whacked out for me. It was a little whacked out for me a little bit because that's the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce love fucking story that starts.
Wait, is it going to happen again this year?
Oh yeah,
Because I swear to God, Taylor Swift is putting the hot two on that thing.
there it
I'm
is.
telling you this right now.
Actually, the Chiefs, their schedule is based around Taylor Swift's concert schedule,
Oh my god.
so she can make up to 13 of the games.
All right, so I want to ask this question because I've asked you guys already before. So the AFC North runs Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Cincinnati, right?
Yes.
So let's ask the Cincinnati fan, who's winning the AFC North this year? Who do you got, bud?
Bengals.
I'm
Okay.
telling you right now, this is how it's gonna go. Baltimore, Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh ain't going to be relevant.
Okay.
Browns.
Okay,
And
and
then
then
Bengals and
Cincinnati.
Browns.
Baltimore. Well, let's say it.
Okay.
I don't see the Browns going over Pittsburgh.
I
I don't
think,
see the Pittsburgh even
I
breaking
don't-
double digits.
yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh's going to make the top two there. I think Pittsburgh's going to stay at number 4 on this list.
Make a wager on it?
I think Cincinnati could be at number 3. I think Cleveland's going to be at number 1 or number 2, and I think Baltimore's going to be at number 1 or number 2. I would love to see the Bengals with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and that high-powered offense of Joe Burrow throw it up somewhere and
If
Jamar
Joe
Chase
Burrow
is there.
plays. He's not completely
So
healthy.
who do you got? Baltimore winning that division?
I have to say.
Okay. Let's go AFC South. Indianapolis, Houston, Tennessee, Jacksonville. Who you got winning that division?
I got Indianapolis.
I got Indy.
You already know mine. Houston,
Houston.
then Indy.
Okay,
I'm
sketch.
gonna go around. No one ever
Ooh, yeah, that's not something.
Trevor Lawrence.
Saying
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence should put on the show because he got that big
He did get
contract.
that
Let's go. Yeah, he got that big fat contract. Now
But
it's either
if
put up or
he's-
shut up now.
If
for
he's
him.
anything like Daniel Jones after he got that big contract,
Yeah. Also, I've got so let's go to the New England division. You got the Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Patriots. I'm assuming.
Dolphins all day, every day.
Okay.
You already know mine, Dolphins.
Dolphins. So we're all four saying Dolphins.
Dolphins first. Dolphins first, Jets second.
Tua Tagovailoa with Tyreek Hill,
Fastest
Waddle.
offense in the NFL.
Jalen Waddle. You know, and OBJ's now in Miami now
That
too.
is true. They have Devon A. Chain there.
But I don't want to switch my OBJ. I don't like the OBJ at all.
All right, so let's go AFC West. Let's go Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay. How do you guys feel about Jim Harbaugh and with the Chargers now? How do you think that's going to go out?
I think that they're going to have a pretty decent season. I think we're
Okay.
going to see the resurgence of Justin Herbert underneath
Okay.
his coaching, and I believe they'll have a pretty decent season. I think they'll go. I think they'll win 9 games.
Okay.
I see you being a
I
crash
think
burn
it'll
soon.
happen.
For the Chargers? You
Yeah,
seeing
the
the crash and
Chargers.
bird? Okay. So let's go. So AFC West, we got that done. All right, let's go. Dallas, Giants, Eagles, Commanders. Who's winning this division?
Eagles.
Eagles?
Actually, I'm going to throw a dark horse in here and say Washington.
Ooh, yes, let's go. Let's go. Who do you got, bud?
I'm 50.
Washington Eagles. I know the Dallas fan. I know where she sits at. It's Dallas every step of the way.
This is our year.
I'm honestly surprised you're not considering Dallas for who is a fan of them.
This is my year, guys.
This is
We
our
got
year.
this.
We're going to win it all.
Napoleon Dynamite could be your guys' QB and you wouldn't
I
win
can already
a
tell you who's winning the next division.
All right, so I need to ask this. NFC North, Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota. Who's got the division?
Detroit.
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 Detroit. That's it.
Detroit.
I don't see anyone.
We're going 8 Mile all the way down in Detroit for this one. I'm going headstrong Lions Super Bowl this year
That's what I'm
for the
going.
NFC.
Listen, don't make it to the Super Bowl. I'll never root for the Bengals again.
Oof. Jesus.
That's strong.
All right, NFC South. Let's go Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, Tampa Bay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say New Orleans here.
New Orleans, okay.
The new utilization of Taysom Hill is gonna help their offense out a lot.
I'm going to go Falcons on this list, bud. I'm going to take Atlanta. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm between two,
Okay. Who you-
Atlanta and Tampa.
I thought he was going to say Atlanta and
I
Carolina.
thought you were gonna say
Yeah, no.
I don't think anybody's gonna say Carolina.
All right. So this is his division here. NFC West. We got the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks. Who wins the division this year?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with my bias pick here. I'm gonna
Who's gonna
say
go
the
Rams?
Rams.
49ers all the way.
Okay.
Niners.
49ers, bud. I'm sorry. I think the Niners are going to do it this
I'm
year. All
calling it
Steamroller
right now
again.
that the Rams are gonna have a better offense than the Niners this year.
right, what's my timestamp right now for this? All right, so I told you this wasn't going to be pretty long, decently long today. So let's talk something here, bud. 1 week.
Yes.
1
Yes.
week. West Banco Arena, Wheeling, West Virginia, will be live July 6th this year. You're going to be covering Money in the Bank this year.
Which,
Before
we jump to what you're about to talk about, I want to jump to something that's happening in WWE right now.
Okay.
So, they have confirmed Liv Morgan is now dating Finn Balor from the Judgment Day.
Okay.
Yeah, we all knew that.
So, what do you think this means for the Judgment Day?
I'm
Well,
telling you
I-
right now.
I don't know. I think Seth Rollins beats down Damian Priest at Money in the Bank. I think Priest will lose that title. I think
And
Seth will stay with it. Also, sad news regarding Roman Reigns as well. Sika Anoy
Oh,
had
yeah.
died. Had passed away. One half of the Wild Samoans. That's definitely heartbreaking. One of the best tag teams out there was the Wild Samoans. So Roman, our condolences go out to you in a massive heartbreak. you know, the whole Liv Morgan story. I told you this. I told you guys this a while back ago. Can we do a custody battle for Dom Liv versus Rhea Ripley?
I swear Triple H could make the play for the best callback ever.
That would be absolutely awesome.
Should say.
Ladder match, custody contract right there on the chain for Dom or for Dominic Mysterio this year.
Actually, let's talk about a big match that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Logan Paul and the Megastar. Say it with me now. LA Knight. Yeah.
So I think LA Knight's going to beat Logan Paul once and for all because there's rumors that, you know, you guys, the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyson had a health concern that had to withdraw from the fight.
Yep.
Well, Logan Paul stepped in and said that he would take over and fight his own brother. Fight Jake Paul. So what if this is the time that he loses the title to the Megastar and the Jake Paul and Logan Paul fight actually comes through? Now, it's being said that the fight is being rescheduled between Tyson and Jake Paul right now. And they're looking at August. That's 2 months away right now. So, well, actually, not even 2 months. That's almost less than a month and a couple days.
Yep.
So, I think LA Knight wins that match. And straight up, LA Knight beats Logan Paul, hands down. That's it. Because last year, wasn't Logan Paul supposed to win the Money in the Bank? Because that's what I was hearing constantly, that Paul, not Logan Paul.
LA Knight.
LA Knight.
He was supposed to.
Okay, so
But I can tell you who's winning it this year.
Who?
Jey Uso.
Yeah. I
So
can see
what
it.
happened with LA Knight's thing last year was their wife plays it, I play it, he plays it, and so does my wife. And that's WWE Supercard,
Okay.
which is confirmed by the winners of the pay-per-view on card.
The cards decided to
LA
come out
Knight-
early.
Card came out early.
So they had to scrap the match.
They had to flip it up onto one.
Okay. So, you know, by the way, anyways, congratulations to Buddy Matthews and Rhea Ripley on their wedding.
Yes.
And them getting married as well. Also, so there's possibility of rumors here that Rhea Ripley will be leaving Judgment Day once she returns. Now, could you see her aligning with Jey Uso? How cool would that be? The Yeet movement with Jay and Rhea Ripley, like how cool would that be? Like, come on.
I think what's going to happen is she's going to come back and Buddy's going to come with her.
Also, Money in the Bank match that I found out about, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, Sammy's going to die.
That happened last Monday.
I found that out as well. So, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn for the IC titles.
Sammy is going to die.
Sammy's walking out champion.
I want him to walk out champion, but Braun Breaker, oh boy.
I see Sammy walking out champion.
R-Truth and Miz are no longer champions
Nope,
now.
the Judgment Day are Finn
Finn
and
Balor,
JD, McDonough.
Thanks to Liv Morgan.
McDonough.
Thanks to Liv Morgan, yes.
So, does Damian retain at Money in the Bank?
Nope,
Nope.
nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Seth Rollins is going to...
Damian retain at Money in the Bank?
I think Seth Rollins is going to take his rightful
Same for you?
championship back.
See,
I mean-
this is how I see it, because a lot of people do have a point in this. Seth's been out for a couple months due to his back
His knee.
and his knee. He's also been out shooting a movie. So but I still see them keeping it with Damian because it's not going to be Seth's time yet. He'll probably do it at SummerSlam.
Okay. So Money in the Bank, July 6th.
Yep.
Same time the championship
Yep.
game's going on. So we're going to be checking in with him. And we're also going to be doing our thing, Chris.
Yes, I actually have a ticket to the game.
So your big job is Money in the Bank, bud, because I'm ready to hear all about this come that
With me and
Saturday.
you, buddy.
All right, so let's talk for a second, everybody. Wheeling, West Virginia,
July 6th.
July 6th,
7 p.m.
7 p.m. It is live at West Baco Arena, and it is on. Peach State will travel from Suwanee, Georgia to Wheeling, West Virginia to face the 9-0 Wheeling Miners. Now, so a couple weeks back, 2 weeks ago, the Miners had a tough playoff game against Jersey. My wife and I were there at that game. I ended up with a player in my lap.
I actually found that clip.
Yeah, I saw that clip, and I'm on YouTube on the Miners webpage now.
And you're on their Facebook, too.
So, that was a heck of a game. I have to admit, watching Jersey and the Miners in a close game like that was absolutely phenomenal.
And for the championship game, the Miners do have their starting quarterback back.
So Grant was gone for a honeymoon the day of the Jersey Bearcats game. He's back now. So I think Wheeling's got this covered. I think Coach Rez is going to have the Miners ready to pump, ready to roll. And I don't think Peach State's going to know what's going to hit them when they step on that field. And that's a hard-hitting Miners team right now. And also, so while that's going on, come up Wednesday this coming week, we are going to be at Generations talking to a very good friend of mine and my wife, Jeff Blumenauer, one of the commentators for the Wheeling Miners. We're going to be talking football. We're going to be talking a couple other things as well with that. So that's o'clock next weekend. 5:30 next week.
Well, we got to meet them at 5:30.
So that'll be that. And then 2 days after that, West Virginia. We're going to be at Wheeling at West Banco Arena for the Miners and the Peach State Cats. Final thoughts on this Miners and Peach State game. What are you thinking? Do you think this is going to be a good game?
It's going to be a hard-fought dogfight. It's going to be a close game. I still see the Miners pulling it out by, I say, 10 points.
10 points?
I see, like he said, I see it being a hard-fought game. It's going to be a close game like I told in the Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Because Peach State is going to come in there, smack the Miners right back in the mouth. They're not going to go down easy. But I still have the Miners winning it.
Now, let's not forget. So, Peach State lost 3 good games this year. They played the Columbus Lions. They lost. They lost to the Carolina Cobras from the NAL. They also lost to the Carolina Predators as well. Now, some of those games I had watched, and those weren't bad games at all. So, I think Peach State's something to look forward to this year for the championship game.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think they've played a Miners team like this. And this is huge right now for West Virginia and Coach Rez, because they just joined the NAL now.
Yep.
Now, so the NAL, because we talked about this, 2 weeks ago, they've got Carolina, Omaha Beef. Speaking of, now, hold on. I told you guys this. Matt LaFleur, head coach for the Green Bay Packers, he used to play quarterback for the Omaha Beef in the NAL. Now, here's something I found out from one of my sources, and I think this kid's on a pedestal right now in Omaha. We're talking Tommy Armstrong, quarterback Beef, in just 8 games, folks. 8 games, 19 touchdown passes, 20 TD rushing yards. 20 rushing TDs with 19 touchdown passes. This kid can run. Yes, he's black, but so what? This kid can run.
There it is.
Straight up the extra muscle in their leg. It's a scientific fact.
So think of it this way. The Miners are going to the NAL this year or next year.
Next year.
They got teams that they're having to play. Omaha has been undefeated for 734 days. 734 days. The Miners, 105. Omaha has an arena called the Slaughterhouse. And that's a nice field. It's bright fucking red.
Well, it makes sense.
So, Miners in Jersey State. Oh, Jesus. Peach State. Peach State, Wheeling. July 6th, 7 o'clock. This West Virginia is going to be rocking.
Oh, West Banco Arena is going to be ecstatic.
So stay tuned, because that game, we won't be home until at least 1 o'clock in the morning, possibly.
Oh, gosh. We got so much stuff planned.
We got a lot of interviews coming up with Coach Rez, some of the players. We're going to
Mine line.
the Mine Line's going to be at West Banco Arena. Also, so that's a big supporting cast. My wife was part of the drum line at Buckeye Local, and you're a big fan of music as well.
I actually was in the band at Buckeye Local as well.
So we are kind of helping with the fundraiser support of the Wheeling Mine Line right now. I think I think the Wheeling Miners next Saturday. I think the Miners will win it next Saturday
I
and bring a
think so as well.
championship to West Banco again.
The 4th championship, I do
I
believe.
think so. I think it's the 4th one for the Miners. I think, you know, Coach Rez is going to have these guys ready to hit somebody.
absolutely.
I mean, and you got to think, you got one of the big defensive linemen, I think, comes out of Georgia right now. Used to be a Bulldog down in Georgia, too. So, July 6th, Money in the Bank. We're excited to see it. Could a possible Roman Reigns return be at Money in the Bank?
I think that's going to happen tonight on SmackDown.
Okay.
Now I have a feeling it's Money in the Bank. They're going to wait for a bigger event.
Okay. By the way, Sika Annoy, rest your soul.
And Jimmy Uso is going to make it.
Yeah, I heard Jimmy.
I have a feeling that's going to be tonight. That one's going to be tonight. They're going to save Roman for Money in the Bank. Possibly both.
Wheeling, July 6th, man.
Miners, Cats. I'm ready.
I know I'm ready.
I know he is. I know she's ready to go.
We will.
Yeah,
be,
I'm ready to catch somebody this time.
we will be at that game.
So
If you guys want to come and see us, talk to us, take pictures with us, man. Don't feel scared to approach us. We will talk to you.
So now I got another question for you before we end this. If if the Miners happen to lose on the 6th,
Yeah.
do they have anything to be disappointed in?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
I mean, their inaugural season here. They're not.
It'll be their first loss.
It'll be their first loss.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah. When you're, you know, the Nailers, let's go Nailers route for a second. The Nailers had a heartbreak season last year, and Nailers fans stuck with them through and through last year. I think that's the same thing for the Miners. No matter if they win or lose, I think Miners fans have something to look forward to.
Hey, win, lose, or tie, Wheeling Miners till I die.
Yeah, it's Miners all the way. Coach Resignalo, I think he's going to have these guys ready to eat. And I got these guys ready to feed come July 6th. And honest to God, I mean, they got some of the great wide receivers. Pete out of New Jersey right now, used to play for the Jersey Bearcats, and now is a Wheeling Miner. I think this is going to be huge. I think Peach State's not going to know what hit them. And if I'm Peach State right now, I'm doing film work.
Hey,
I'm doing some film
if I'm
work.
Peach State, I'm looking out for Mr. RC.
Yeah, RC Everbrook, oldest professional football player in Wheeling right now, 54 years old. Who can say that they played until they were 54 years old in a professional football team?
Next year, he's going to change his number to 55.
Yeah, right. So that's huge right now. That's our big news. Next Wednesday, we will be at Generations with our good friend and commentator for the Wheeling Miners, Jeff Blumenauer. Jeff, we love you. Congratulations on the baby. Also, next Saturday, West Banco Arena.
Yes, sir.
Also next Saturday, Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Where is Money in the Bank at this year?
Toronto, Canada.
Toronto, Canada. All right, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chit chat with us every once in a while. Let us know how you doing, where you're from. Hit that like button. A little funny animation does it when you pop up. It comes in different colors. It goes. And hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out.
And don't forget the bell notification.
Yes, and hit the bell notification so you know whenever we're live. But Kraus, appreciate you, buddy.
Yep.
Gage, thank you so much, man. This is TCG Sports. Peace.
And as always, keep your stick on the ice.
Yes.